Well, here's something I didn't think I'd be doing, and that's making a video on this truck, about working on this truck. But here we are. Alright, some of you longtime viewers recognize this truck, know this truck. This is it's a 74 or 75, I can't ever remember, C65 Chevy with a 427 in it. And probably the last time you seen me work on this truck, we did the exhaust manifolds, and it didn't have the front clip or anything on it, but if you've seen in some of my more recent videos, it's been slowly going back together in the background. I have this truck out here you guys have seen in the background. I've never made a video on this truck. This is I don't even know the year. This truck doesn't have a title. It come from where I got my other two, well, this combine and my other combine from. And I got it for parts, and I was going to keep the frame and everything and just sell the bed, and I sold the bed and the whole truck because I've decided I don't need this truck anymore if I'm getting rid of the green truck. So the guy that bought this truck, he come out, or bought the bed. We're doing a trade deal kind of thing here. The guy that's after this truck has some Gleaner F2s. He has two, a good one and a bad one, he calls it. I think they're both probably good, but time will tell. And he's got two corn heads and one grain head. He says he's got another grain head somewhere. He just don't know exactly where, which is kind of understandable. You get stuff put in the weeds and you forget where it ends up. I've lost stuff before. But this truck, we're trading this truck, and we're going to trade the green truck, and I got to make up something on my end somewhere along the lines. But I've been slowly putting that truck back together so that way we can get it to him. I don't have to have it 100% back together because it still needs some stuff, but I'm going to get it like 95 to 99% done. So the reason I got this truck up here now, other than it's dry up here, is I was working on this truck. I got the transmission back in it yesterday. I had to order a input shaft, or not input shaft, a dummy input shaft, clutch alignment tool piece, because I was fighting getting the clutch lined up just right, even though it was within like 1/8 of an inch. That's you can't wiggle it around that much apparently. So once I used that tool, it went right in. But started putting the exhaust on, and it was giving me some fits. I couldn't get the starter on. So this is the new manifold and the exhaust. Now I do realize I have the exhausts on the wrong side, and I realize this now because looking at that one, how it has that little dog leg in it. That's to avoid the starter. I have that matching piece on the driver's side, which I'll change out now that I know. But the manifolds, these are both right side manifolds, and you see the difference? I never caught this when I put them on. See where the outlet is? That outlet's towards the front, this outlet towards the back. So I have the wrong passenger side manifold. I have the right driver's side, I have the wrong passenger side. So instead of buying one, trying to hunt one down, I just took this one, it's good, off of that other truck. Had it off in about 15 minutes. Had this one off in about 15 minutes. It'll take me about 15 minutes to slap it back in this truck. But what I got to do to it, and I don't know how much I'll film of it. The batteries are draining fast because it is cold. But like I said, the transmission's in. Get this whole exhaust system put in, because that muffler's got holes in it. I don't want to crack the bolts loose and whatnot, but put that in as one unit and get the starter in. I need to put the hood on it. The carburetor needs redone. I thought about just putting the carburetor back on it, because the carburetor leaked just a little bit, and I could probably even run this truck. Get some of the bolts put back in the sheet metal here, and I need to get the brakes caged, because I'm more than likely going to pull it with the hitch that I have rigged up on the front of this truck. And the only video I have of moving this truck here was on Instagram. I actually pulled it with the 4010. I think it's like 8 miles where I got it from. Pulled it just like how you see it set up there. The only difference is I redone my hitch. I added a second piece to my hitch, because it originally was just this piece, and it worked. You can see the angle's not straight anymore. It worked it a lot, so I put a piece on the bottom to have it bolted there, and some safety chains. I was hoping this truck was going to leave today, but it started to thaw, and that guy's place is a little muddy, so it gets to sit here till it freezes up again. But I had to take the drive shaft out of it. I've moved this truck only in warm weather and never had a problem with anything stuck. Well, there must be water in one of the transmissions. This has 2 transmissions, a main and then like a brownie box or whatever you want to call it. And one of them must have water in it. It's froze, because we pulled and yanked, and I had the Farmall M hooked to it because it pulls easy when it moves. And Dad was pushing with the excavator, and we was pulling with the excavator and pulling with the tractor, and we got it out to dry ground, and I pulled the drive shaft, and one wheel was locked up on the back. I pulled it as far as I could with the Farmall M, and then it was just spinning, and I'm like, you know what, I'm tired of messing around, let's get the big tractor. So, but anyways, I built this hitch. Dad had some heavy duty hinges. The only thing I like about these hinges is these holes are oblong just a little bit, so it'll want to pull, slide a little bit, but it ain't too bad. This is built out of bridge angle and stuff I got from work. Works really nice, but it is heavy as all get out. I mean, whew. Especially since I added the other piece, and the other piece is thicker than anything I made the tongue out of. But get this truck gone, get that hitch bolted up to this one, and get this out of here. This is also one of my New Year project goals, was to get this truck out of the barn, and I didn't think it was going to be to go to this place, because I lost contact with this guy, and actually exactly a week ago he got a hold of me. I was doing some cleanup, and he got a hold of me and wanted to know if I was still interested. I said, heck yeah, I'm still interested. Who doesn't want 2 combines? So here in the next few weeks to come, we'll get video of some trucks leaving and some combines coming and going. My plan is I'm going to pull that truck behind my pickup. I'm going to put some safety stuff on it. I wrote "in tow" on the back of it. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I'm going to pull that there, take the hitch off. He has a header cart with the grain head on it. I'll pull that back. Then we'll pull this truck there. Probably won't bring anything back, because the one combine we could probably get running and drive it home. The other one had an engine fire, but I can't tell where it burned at, and it didn't burn for very long because the fire department was right across the road. And it's got a 6-cylinder just like this. It's a short back F2 hydrostatic with a 6-cylinder. The good one is a long back with the 4-cylinder, and it's got it's hydro also, and it's got a hydraulic fold-out auger. The auger is locked up on it. The short back has regular auger like this, but I don't need all these combines, so I'm going to probably keep this one as a good machine. The shortback F2, we'll have to look at it. It might be a good usable machine. It might just be parts. I can use parts from it for this and parts for the other one. So, but that's all down the road. We're just focusing what's in front of us today, and that is these manifolds. Got to get that put in there and get this truck. I'd like to get this truck buttoned up as much as I can today and be done with it. If I could get it pulled outside today, it'd be great. I got to clean up. Shop's fairly clean, but that table right there has been there for like a year, and it's got like 3 different project bits and pieces on it, from the grain drill, sprayer. Those are the 2 main ones. And it'll have corn planter. Well, it won't have corn planter parts on it because you see how bad it's sagging. Once it's cleaned off, it's going into the junk. But we gotta get our corn planter in here and go through it. So that was one of the reasons to get this truck out of here, and you know, be able to put a combine in here, not to work on, but to store or whatever. If I need to work on it, I could put it in here. So the 4010 was sitting over here, and a M was sitting over there. But anyways, enough rambling. Let's get these in there and see what we can get done. Well, it looks like a truck again. Got the hood on it. It closes like a dream. I don't have all the bolts in the body panels. I'll work on that here and there, but pretty much all the hard parts are on it. The only thing I don't have on it's the drive shaft. The driver's side exhaust, I don't have the right flange to bolt it up, or it would have been on there. The starter's in. I put the carburetor in. The carburetor needs rebuilt, but I have a feeling this truck might sit for a little while before it gets used. So I put the carb on it just to cover the holes, put the air cleaner on it, got the turn signals on it. The only thing I don't really have bolted in is the battery box and the battery. No plug wires on it. It needs new plug wires, but it's pretty much together. I mean, if it had a battery and plug wires on it, we could probably fire it, but I got the brakes caged so I can pull it out of here when that time comes, which if I get some of these body panel bolts in it, I can pull it outside. But I'm going to leave the fender wells off of it, just because for putting the plug wires on, I mean, you can get right there, so he might want to leave those off. But yeah, it is pretty much back together. You guys probably will never get to see it run again, because I don't plan on having it running when it leaves here. In an ideal, perfect world, I would love to have it running and drive it there, but I just want it gone. I'm tired of looking at it. I do hate to see this truck go, because it was a good truck, but I have no need for it. I was going to make a dump truck out of it. I don't got the time for that. I don't really have the need for that. I got the Mack that needs worked on. I got a dump trailer. This truck is no, it is not a 33,000. It is a goofy number. It is 27.5 GVW, so it is just over CDL, and I don't have my CDL, so that puts a little damper on things. I could use it as a farm truck kind of thing, but insurance is expensive on these, and I have not put plates on this truck in like 2 years, 3 years, and the state of Ohio will no longer let you prorate farm truck tags. That was one of the reasons why we got rid of the Paystar. It would have cost me like $2,500 to get current, plus put the current stickers on the Paystar, and yeah, that's almost what I have in that truck by the time I bought it and fixed it. So this truck was a little bit cheaper. The Paystar was like $700 a year. This truck I think is like $175, but still, that you're looking $500. I can't remember when I last registered it, but yeah, it's not worth it to me to carry the insurance on it and tag it for what little bit I'll use it. What this truck would pull, my Ram will pull, so I don't have anything that'll exceed my Ram's limits, so I don't need this truck. So it's gone. But what I'll probably end up doing now is, since I've got this project pretty much as far as it'll go, I got a mess to clean up. That'll be different project for a different day. Probably do it as soon as I get this out of the barn. That'll give me some room to walk around and get some stuff out, because there is some stuff for this truck in the corner I got to dig out that doesn't need to go on it, but will go with it. I got the bumper there I got to take the license plates off of. Take the license plate off the back when I get it out. So yeah, I've probably worked on this truck, getting it back together and swapping stuff out, probably total time 5-6 hours. I should have had this truck together a long time ago, but you know how things go. Whoa, how things are around here. So anyways, with that being said, we'll catch you guys on the next one.